There's nothing like a man, so let me be a fantasy. There's nothing like a man, so let me show you who I am. Let me show you who I am. Let me show you who I am. Let me show you who I
Looking for some company?
Terrence, a.k.a. Tron McLean, murdered 3 years ago on July 20th. His idea of fun was kicking the shit out of fags. Street Patrol busted him for various assaults on Davie Street. Typical gay bashing stuff.
So what's got us looking at this one again?
Homicide's got another murder similar MO.
Another gay bash?
Yep, so this one's back on the fire.
Murder on Davie Street, huh? Hey, you forgot one part.
What's that?
It's the part where we're supposed to give a shit.
So Cold Squad's working with Homicide on this one.
I think it's in everyone's interest for you and Homicide to coordinate your efforts here. Terrence McLean and the newly dead Ken Regan were killed in similar ways.
We're quite happy to work this one on our own, Mickey.
Yeah, I know that, Andy. But just between us, I'm proposing this to light a fire under Homicide's ass. Casey's put one guy on this.
Who's the guy?
William Anson.
Blind Bill Anson.
Now you know how serious they are.
You know what? That's okay. I'll play nice with Anson. But, I want Savalas in on this.
Why?
Come on, Davie Street? I need somebody to watch my back. Besides, aren't you tired of him moping around the office all the time?
Good point.
Mickey, he's finished installing the Vi-Class database. So, who's driving, you or me?
Who do you think? Gentlemen, if you don't mind.
That's some job Calder's got, getting all excited over some new software.
Well, with the case you're working on, I'll leave getting excited about the hardware to you.
Half the department's on vacation, which is exactly where I'd be if Atkinson hadn't begged me to switch with him, bastard.
So where'd they find your dead guy?
Regan? At a place called Pump Jacks.
It's the same place they found our dead guy. It's a charming name, isn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing subtle about these fruits.
Where's the member we're hooking up with?
Look at this. Guy's name is Luke Darling. He's queer as a $3 bill. Said he'd be about 15 minutes.
So you guys want to get a cup of coffee?
I'll pass, but suit yourself, guys.
No problem.
Let's try something hard.
I'm not even gonna touch that one.
You just did. Try this. Cleanliness fetish. Right here.
You know, it's not the 14 weirdos with the cleanliness fetish that scare me. It's the 14 cops who noticed.
What you doing? We are the only non-RCMP station in the country to be linked to their Vi-Class system. Anyone who even thought of committing a crime is in here. This has the most sophisticated cross-referencing system. The Pierce system times 10. I'm becoming a geek.
Yeah, I always figured. Want to take for a test run?
What do you got?
I got an empty arson squad and a bunch of questions about a 10-year-old murder by arson. Back in October 1992, the Roxborough building at Main and 6th went up in flames. The security guard, Martin Tower, went up with it.
Well, looks like it's not only the murder that's gone cold. You don't even have any arson suspects here.
No, all I have is Oliver Knox, the building owner. He received a big payout from the insurance company, $8 million.
Well, that's quite a recoupment on a couple of cans of gasoline.
Tell me about it. There were 2 huge investigations by arson and by the insurers, but the building was so completely obliterated they had no way to prove it. Knox, of course, is alibied up the wazoo.
According to this, there was no other fire with this sort of signature, like a one-off.
Well, maybe your new system here can tell us something different. In the meantime, I'm gonna go talk to Knox.
We're gonna fire this baby up and see what we can find you.
Well, thanks, you pair of geeks, you.
It's okay, she didn't mean it. Take it easy.
Got held up. Sorry.
Kind of afraid to ask doing what?
Last week's murder happened here as well. Only difference is this time it was in the parking lot. This is Jeremy.
Hi, Luke.
Hey, Jay. Jeremy was working the bar back when Terrence McClane was killed. Come on, I'll show you the parking lot.
Hey, watch out for the dark corridors there, Anson. So what happened?
It was a couple nights after Pride Week. Place was a little quieter than usual.
Did you see Mr. McClane enter the bar?
No.
Who found his body in the washroom?
Guy named Graham Boyce. I was standing right here when he came screaming out of the can. We kept everyone out until the cops showed.
Where can we find Graham?
He passed away 9 months ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. AIDS?
No, officer. He died of cancer. A nice, normal disease.
Were you here last Monday when Regan was killed?
I don't work on Monday nights. Queer as Folk is on. Queer as Folk?
What the hell was that?
Maybe you shouldn't assume that when a gay guy's dead, it's gotta be AIDS.
The police investigated the Roxborough fire 100 years ago.
I'm here to talk to you about the death of Martin Tower, Mr. Knox. You do remember him?
Yeah, I remember him. Sergeant. In fact, I still see his family. They live in one of my condo developments. At cost.
Why don't you tell me about the fire?
I'm sure it's all in that little file of yours. Now, I wonder if that file mentions the 6 months that the cops and the insurance investigators spent raking me over the coals. Like it was my fault that some firebug torched one of my buildings?
Just any firebug, or is it possible that something personal was involved?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, at the time, I was just a kid with the White Elephant building on Main. I mean, the only thing I could do with it was to rent it out to movie locations. Now, this might sound heartless, but except for Martin's death, which was a tragedy, don't get me wrong, but that fire was the luckiest thing that ever happened to me.
How's that?
I can never get a break on renovating the Roxborough. I mean, the Heritage Department, they opposed me at every move. After the fire, there was nothing to object to. I could finally prove what I could do. You know, the Roxborough is one of the most successful loft residences in this city.
Lucky.
Here we are, Terrence McClane and Ken Regan.
So what are we looking at?
The 2 men died in a very similar fashion. Major trauma to the throat.
The size of these mothers must have been a pretty strong son of a bitch who did this.
You like it being one guy?
It's a possibility. Oh, sorry, you weren't asking me, were you?
Yeah, I guess it could be one guy. But the fact these 2 assholes died the same way doesn't necessarily make it so.
So were they choked to death or what?
I'll have to dig up some old test results from McClane's murder.
How soon?
Dare to?
Go to it, Nancy Drew.
Catch up with you guys and dolls later.
Now there goes a committed officer of the law.
Anson's all right.
So, one guy killed them both. That's true. Half of Davy Street will want to shake his hand.
You familiar with the 2 dead men?
I arrested McClane twice. First time, it never went to trial. Second time, he got a grand total of 30 days. Whoever killed him did something we couldn't do.
Yeah, that's the ticket. Let's take the law into our own hands.
I understand the impulse. These animals from Surrey come down to Davy with the express purpose of beating up fags. I bust them, and 3 weeks later, they're back. Someone finally said enough is enough. Big surprise.
Look, you're pretty well integrated into the community. Maybe you know who that someone is?
Respectfully, Sergeant Harper, go to hell. You want my personal opinion? I'm not crying any tears for Tron McClane or Ken Regan.
Nor am I, darling.
Well, peachy keen, sweetheart, then we're both on the same side.
Yeah, except for the fact that I want to find the killer.
Yeah, I hear anything, I'll let you know.
You want to make a cop a suspect, maybe you can let me in on it.
If there's more to it than him being a cop, all right? There's politics involved here.
Oh, yeah, fag first, cop later.
Hey, easy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's politics involved. I got that part, Lynn.
Okay,
Clock, rocket igniter. Not much as far as clues go.
Maybe not, but you start with what you have.
Was this all it takes to be a professional arsonist?
Could be he's a pyro.
It could be he's a woman.
Hardly. They're almost always men, and they're usually in the audience. First thing they teach you at the academy. When you're on a fire call, look around. Chances are you guys there watching. At least.
What's at most?
My first fire call, found the guy in his car, pulling the goalie.
Super. Okay, here we go.
I don't know anything about any of this.
Your name was on a witness list 3 years ago, Mr. Horn. We know you were there.
It's okay. We're not here to make your life difficult. We just want to ask you a few questions.
There was another suspected gay basher killed outside of Pump Jacks a week ago. We just think the two incidents might be related.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I don't go down to Davy anymore. That night at Pump Jacks was a one-time thing.
We don't care about your personal life, Mr. Horn.
We just want to know what you saw that night.
I didn't see anything.
You see this guy? He was murdered in the washroom. You remember that?
Of course I do.
Come on. You didn't see anything unusual that night?
No.
Nothing unusual happened that night?
Nothing. Well, you know, what was strange, that he was in the washroom at all.
Why is that?
Well, I remember I wanted to use the facilities, and there was an out-of-order sign on the door.
Did you mention this to anyone when you were initially questioned?
I was never questioned.
Never?
No, the cops at the club took down my name, but they never asked me anything.
And you didn't think to come forward?
Well, considering the type of person that was killed, why would I?
Out of the 10 fires with rocket igniters, there were 7 convictions. Of the remaining 3, only the Harrison building was completely destroyed, resulting in a $10 million payout.
So it could be the same guy who burned down the Roxborough.
Yeah, except it's in Toronto.
How much do you make torching a building?
Well, I heard 50 or 60,000, depending on how big the insurance payout is. You know what? Try searching and zeroing in on insurance payouts over $5 million. I love this system.
Maybe you should think about getting a pet.
The shitter wasn't working. So what?
So it could be significant.
Oh, yeah, an out-of-order sign. A real smoking gun there.
It might be if you took the time to think about it.
How's that?
Maybe the out-of-order sign was put there after McLean entered the can.
Why would someone do that?
McLean was busted twice for beating up gays. Both times he hid in the club's washroom. When a guy'd come in, McLean would make a play and then kick the crap out of him.
Right, so someone sees McLean go in the washroom, they slam the out-of-order sign up on the door, right? There's no victims for McLean. Then someone goes in and deals with him.
Hey, you're forgetting that my guy was found dead in the parking lot, okay?
Maybe someone lured him out.
Ah, gee.
If we're thinking the same guy did the killing, it looks to us like he was organized about it.
What have you found out?
Not a hell of a lot.
Has Darling been of any help?
Do you even talk to him?
Why don't you talk to him, Savalas? As far as I'm concerned, a guy like him shouldn't even be on the force.
And just because the guy's gay doesn't mean he ain't a good cop.
Look, Bill, you don't have to like... Hey, Bill, you don't have to like him. Just talk to him.
Yeah, sure.
Keep us in the loop here, all right?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you believe that guy?
You know, people got the right to their opinions, right?
Well, I've got mooks with a can of gas and a match. They think they're a professional arsonist just because they got paid. But you know, there's very few true professionals.
What do we have here?
Well, what makes you think that this is his first job?
There are no unsolved arsons involving rocket igniters before the Roxborough.
And he used gas and rags, which is typical amateur setup.
All right, so you've got rocket igniters here, and then again there.
But nothing to tie the two together.
Okay. So if you accept that 1 and 2 are your guy, he's learned a few things between the fires. He's changed his accelerant, slightly more sophisticated. He didn't need to use a clock either, probably used a remote. So he's on a learning curve. Maybe he went to college.
Could it be a pattern? He does one every 3 years?
Well, they're freaks, these firebugs. It could be some stupid anniversary thing. But it's strange that he changed cities.
Why?
Well, they're not exactly following a better job offer. I gotta go. Ferry to catch.
Ray, come on. At least tell us the next step in our firebug's learning curve.
Well, it depends. If he's smart, he moves onto propane. Sits nice and heavy at the bottom of the building. You ignite it later and boom, blows everything sky high. No evidence. I'll see you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so if we assume that the Roxborough building is his first fire,
All right.
who gave you your first job?
A neighbor, a friend of my dad's. He knew I was looking for work.
Right, so if I'm a landlord in a bad part of town, who do I hire to do my dirty work?
a local troublemaker.
Exactly. So we're going to search for any crime, any report, anything that happened in that neighborhood in a 6-month period preceding the fire.
I'm a little busy here.
This'll just take a second. I was talking to a witness who said that the washroom was out of service the night that McLean was found in there.
Could have been.
Well, if it was, wouldn't have somebody asked you about it? You know, it's a busy place, a lot of beer. I know when I've had a few. You know the joke about renting it, right?
Maybe somebody mentioned it.
Jeremy, any of the staff from the old place still around?
Not that I've seen.
I sure would like to know who put up that sign.
Maybe the creep did.
Now, why would you do something like that?
It's my experience, detective. The people who really hate fags actually hate themselves. You know what I'm saying.
Wiley? Jesus, man, I haven't seen you since King Edward Collegiate. How have you been?
Well, a lot better now. How come I haven't seen you before tonight?
It's not my scene. I'm working. Cop.
That's a shame. 3 counts. Though I bet you look good in the uniform.
Were you here last week when the murder went down?
Yeah, I was.
Did you see anything?
Come out on the floor and I'll tell you.
I don't...
It's the only way I'm gonna tell you.
You better tell me what you saw.
The thing is, detective, I don't trust you. I don't trust any of you.
What about Darling? You trust him?
I'll allow for an exception.
Hey, sweetheart, you want to buy me a beer?
What are you doing here?
Oh, didn't you know about me?
What are you doing here?
Telling you that I talked to every witness I could. No one saw anything. I don't think they care for us, Lenny. But it sure seems like one of us cares for them. Guess I only got one question. You jealous? Hey, Savalas.
So according to the guy I was talking to, it looks like it might be somebody inside the community that killed Reagan and McLean.
Oh, yeah? When did you learn that? Before the Foxtrot or after the hustle?
Does the guy know who?
He might.
Let's bring him in.
I don't think that's the way to play it.
He's gay. We lay into him, he'll talk.
We do that, he forgets everything. I know the guy.
Well, that's stating the obvious, isn't it?
You want to lay off?
Savalas, that's Greek, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, enough, Bill.
You queer, Savalas?
Why, you interested?
Just answer the damn question. I don't give a shit.
The answer is, it's none of your business.
Hey, that's good enough for me. You know, at least Darling's got the stones to come out.
You're an idiot.
No, you know what I am? I'm out of here. Atkinson's back. I'm on holidays.
Come on, Bill. We're right in the middle of a case here.
Yeah, a case nobody wants solved. Nobody's talking, not to me anyhow. Maybe I just don't have that special touch here like Savalas does.
Oh, come on, Anson. We get you rigged up in a leather jockstrap. I'm sure someone will open their mouth.
I'll let you and your girlfriend here solve it, Harper. I'll have my field report sent down. A little bedtime reading here for you, Savalas.
That was stupid.
What can you do? Some guys just don't have a clue.
I wasn't talking about him. What's with the none of your business? If you aren't gay, why don't you just say so?
If?
Hey, I don't know. I don't dance with men.
No, for that, you'd have to take that stick out of your ass.
So, Boris Delgado was quite the holy terror in the city of Vancouver, and this neighborhood in particular, until 1992.
Until he became a born-again Christian and found a whole new way to terrorize the neighbors.
Yeah, something like that.
Boris Delgado?
Yeah, he's this little shit rat that went straight after the first fire.
I see. So he sets a fire, accidentally kills somebody, and then just can't handle the guilt.
Do you have something better?
You guys, this may be something.
What's that?
Boris Delgado works in the movies.
Really? Oliver Knox, the building owner, used to rent it out to movie crews.
Hey, look, Allie, fire.
Thank you, Smokey the Bear. Check his credits. The last movie they made at the Roxborough was called Deadbeat Holiday.
Let's see.
Nothing for 1992.
That doesn't mean he wasn't on the movie, just it's not on his resume.
Where was High Girl filmed?
Oh, here we go. Shot in Toronto, Canada.
Ah, which puts him in Toronto for the Harrison Building fire.
In Ken Regan's case, there's no bruising, unlike a choking death. It means we're looking at a powerful blow to the throat, which crushed his larynx and broke his thyroid bone. Death was instantaneous.
Thyroid.
Thyroid bone, thyroid gland.
What about Tron McClane?
Pretty much the same thing. This blow hit in a slightly higher spot, but affected the same injuries.
What were they hit with?
In that confined space, there's not enough room to swing a weapon. And with so little evident physical trauma, the blow had to be retracted extremely quickly, or there might have been more bruising.
Bruce Lee lives.
That's how it looks.
You gotta talk to this Wiley character, see what he knows.
Yeah. I don't see him ratting on any of his friends, though. Didn't have a lot of them when I knew him.
Gay or straight, a good guy still turns into a murderer.
Yeah. I said I'd talk to him. You really got a problem with this gay thing, Harper?
Intellectually, no. But I go into one of those clubs, it just feels all wrong.
Deadbeat Holiday. What a piece of shit. I was production manager on that. What's the name you're looking for?
Boris Delgado?
Delgado. Oh, Boris Delgado. Yeah, he's a hot shit FX guy now, but he was a little criminal when I met him.
So what can you tell me about him?
Well, we have a lot of break-ins on that building, the Roxborough building. They got some lame-ass on security there. Couldn't catch his morning bagel coming out of a toaster. Never mind some little shit just stole a bunch of lights and lenses. Anyway, one of the grips catches Delgado in his truck, pummels the shit out of him, and I'm just about to call the cops to come and finish the job when David Waddington, the director, shows up, decides that Delgado has spunk and deserves a chance to turn his life around. Which I have to admit he did. Worked his ass off on that picture for free.
Were there any special effects on that film?
Just the lead actress.
So he must have picked up the trade along the way. Is there a lot of money in that?
Well, sure, if you're working, but when times are tough, the special effects budget's the first place I look for cuts. Look, is that everything? Because...
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering, while you were making Deadbeat Holiday, did Delgado have any run-ins with the building owner, Oliver Knox?
Knox? Jesus. Let me fry on that location. So typical. Somebody else has a good idea, the director takes the credit. It was Knox that wanted to give Delgado a second chance. It was Knox that talked us out of pressing charges. Wait, how come that guy's not me, though? Because I specifically said on Tuesdays.
Thanks.
Only fire trucks get to go there.
What took you so long?
Hey, I got a warrant in 2 hours on a flimsy case. I'm goddamn Wonder Woman.
Uh-huh. So what'd you find out?
Well, I got the bank records, but only for the last year. That should be enough. We have to find out where he was May 2002, around the time of the Eddystone fire.
I thought we were interested in the Roxborough fire.
Yeah, we are, but that was back in 1992. That's the dark ages for surveillance.
Okay, I'm missing something here.
Well, let's find out how photogenic Boris Delgado really is.
What do you mean?
Right here. He used an ATM machine in the same block as the Eddystone building a week before the fire. Oh, the bank will still have that on tape.
So what does the picture at the bank prove?
Well, that's just the beginning. On an average day, we're photographed at least 16 times. So if he was in the neighborhood at the time of the Eddystone fire...
We built the photo album to prove it.
You're so smart.
I'm a little disappointed.
Why's that?
I thought that when you called that you might be, I don't know, interested.
Me?
Stranger things have happened.
You gotta help me out here.
You want me to help you catch someone who gets rid of fag bashers?
It's not getting rid of, it's murder.
How about self-defense?
Hey, self-defense is beating the hell out of a guy. I got no problem with that. But this looks like a planned, organized execution. James, if you know something, you have to tell me.
I don't think I can do that.
I took the law into my own hands once. It's never the right thing to do. Trust me.
You know what I find really funny? I think it's funny that no one gives a shit if we're attacked, but the police department is all over this asshole's death.
Hey, this vigilante bullshit keeps up. This neighborhood's gonna turn into a war zone. You want the police to work with you, you gotta help us out. What's so funny?
The police are helping us out.
What's that supposed to mean?
Talk to Darling about what happened.
This is outrageous. We have a witness who says that you were involved. They're lying. Check the duty roster. I wasn't even on Davy during the first murder. I was on vacation. That doesn't really help you. Okay, how about this? During the second, I was at a robbery on Hemlock. Nicholson from robbery was there the whole time. Check his notes. Any more questions? I want a lawyer.
You can leave now, darling.
Why would somebody point us in your direction? You're the detectives. So what do you think?
I think you know something.
Darling Tuck, self-defense. Class is here. Excuse me.
Krav Maga. What? Krav Maga, it's the Israeli Army's karate. We're looking at 10 deadly weapons here.
You got that? I take mine. It's good.
You sure you want to go in there? I wouldn't want you to feel threatened.
Lewis.
Were you a bouncer at Pump Jacks when Tron McClane was killed?
Never worked that club.
But you heard about the murder?
Both of them.
Know anything about it?
I saw both of those assholes before. They were known to us.
Us? What's that supposed to mean?
Davy Street Men's Club. Keep in regular contact with the police. Report suspicious people. Provide you with the license plates of the idiots that come down here to harass the community. You never heard of us. I wish I could say I'm surprised.
Hey, detective. You want to look? Then look.
It's the one from the second bank, taken 2 days before the fire.
The bank's located on the same street. Careless, Boris. Very careless. Have you heard back from the gas station?
They don't sell propane. Closest place for that is 6 blocks away, and they don't have a camera. However...
What? A devious one.
Well, Mr. Delgado is working on a movie set doing effects, right? So the accounting department must keep track of every little thing they buy.
Like propane. There's a cop hidden deep inside you somewhere, Eric.
Oh, yeah. And he's singing in a Village People cover band.
I don't think this is a good idea. And I'm tired of pissing around. Were any of these men in the bar the night you were there?
No.
Look at them.
I said no.
Look at them. I'm not leaving this room till I get something resembling the truth out of you.
I don't know these people.
Oh, come on, Taylor. I know your type. You're going to these clubs. You're cruising everyone in there. Which one of these guys was in that bar? Yeah, that's the easy one. Next.
Look, I've told you everything I know. I don't go to those bars.
What are you, a Stanley Park queer? It's a pretty rough trade out there, Taylor. You better be careful.
You don't know anything about me.
I know you must be a hell of a liar if you've been able to keep the fact that you're a faggot away from your wife and kids all these years. You know what? Get out of here. You're making me sick. We'll pick this up later. I'll come by your house. 47 Belfour, right?
Oh, don't do that. Please.
You go to these clubs, you do whatever it is you do with complete strangers, then you go home and you screw your wife? You're disgusting.
You don't know what it's like.
Yeah, you're right. I have no idea what it's like to be a chicken shit coward like you. I got a murder to solve. And I don't care if I hurt you or your kids, because you know what? I'd be doing them a favor. Now, who's in the bar that night?
Those men who were killed. They deserved to...
Deserved what? What did they deserve? Deserved to be murdered? You think a man like you, a man who would lie to his entire family has the right to be judge and jury? Come on, it's real simple, Taylor. You tell me who was in the bar that night, and you can go back to living your lie. What about the cop?
Okay, what have we got on our poster boy?
The way it looks, Boris Delgado got the arson job before he got the movie. So let's start here. Parking ticket. He received this a couple blocks down from the Eddystone about a week before the fire. Some meticulous cement head caught him at a broken parking meter, wouldn't give him a break.
I love the busted meters.
Well, let this be a lesson to you.
The action shot, Delgado, mall rat.
And the mall?
It's just down the street from the Eddystone. That was taken 3 days before the fire. Then we have the hardware store purchase of the duct tape. That's 2 days before the fire. We also got a couple of shots of him at a convenience store that's a half a block down. So he's definitely in the neighborhood, not doing anything too flashy, and certainly not doing anything anyone would remember.
Except for Big Brother. Right. So, where's the picture of him buying the propane?
That you're not gonna get, but we do know that he started a movie, Dr. Love, about a week before the fire, and Eric here was able to dig up the contracts.
Yeah. See, it says he comes with a kit, which includes, amongst other things, 6 tanks of propane. But he charges the cost of refilling them back to the movie. Here, look at this receipt.
May 5th, 390 liters of propane.
Now this one?
May 15th, another 390 liters.
See, they hadn't even started shooting yet. He expensed it under stunt testing.
10 days later, he's stunt testing again? How many times you gotta test one effect? And why is he doing it so far in advance of the actual start date?
So how did he blow the building?
He pumps the propane into the building. It's heavier than oxygen, so it sits there. It doesn't move. But when it catches a spark,
Which he did with an outside detonator.
it expands. Pow! No evidence.
Except for...
Ah, yes. We have the bank camera again that caught Eddystone's owner's wife. She was withdrawing cash from a personal account. Then the next day,
He's depositing the same amount, $15,000.
15. I knew there was a cop still in there somewhere.
It's simple. They all lied. They were all in the club. We talked to them. Maybe one of them breaks.
We don't have anything solid.
Except we know one of them did it. Let's call them in.
Mr. Delgado? Sergeant McCormick, I'm with the Vancouver Police Department.
If you hear about the safety guidelines, are you and your reps inside?
Actually, I'm here to talk to you about a fire, Mr. Delgado. Several fires.
Really?
Yeah. You familiar with a building called the Roxborough, burned down 10 years ago?
Yeah, I know that building.
Seems you know fires pretty well, too.
It's my job.
Both your jobs, don't you mean?
What are you asking, Sergeant?
You're the one who burned down the Roxborough, aren't you?
I didn't know what I was doing. Thought it was a big shot, the rocket starters. Said the rest all by hand. Ended up racing out of there with the fire at my heels. Found out the next morning, Mr. Tower had been inside. Should have been the last fire.
But it wasn't, was it? Harrison Building, Siemens Mutual, the Eddystone. Am I missing any? You've been expecting this for a while, haven't you?
I don't know how many times I've walked down to the police station. Just never made it to the door.
Why'd you set the other fires if you were so filled with remorse?
Slow production years. Needed the money. But I never hurt anybody, not after the first time.
Who paid you to burn down the Roxborough?
Mr. Knox. It's either that or go to jail.
As I said, both men were killed with one solid blow to the throat. They must have worn gloves. There's nothing more to go on.
So you guys think you're the Guardian Angels or something?
No, we're a men's club.
Where were you on the night of May 13th, 1999?
With my partner at home.
Did you see Ron or Brent at the club that night?
I can't remember. They might have been there. Yeah, Ron was there, so was Brent.
Who said I was at the club?
It's really not your business.
I'd like to know who said I was there.
Were you?
I was drinking a lot back then. I don't remember.
I can't believe this. You think I created a murdering band of fags?
You taught them how to kill.
I taught them how to protect themselves.
So because I know martial arts, I'm a murderer?
Some of those techniques are lethal.
Cigarettes are lethal. Walking across the street is lethal. I do them both.
Just admit that you were in the club, okay? It doesn't make you guilty.
Who said I was in the club?
Jeremy, the bartender.
Maybe I was.
You said you were at home with your partner.
Maybe I was.
You've never helped us. Why help us now?
Not all cops are the same.
Yeah, one of them taught us how to protect ourselves. I know that.
Whoever killed those two is a hero.
I'm one of them. But I'm not because I'm a cop. You're never gonna trust us.
You ever tell fag jokes to your friends?
No.
Who's lying now? Do you think it's right to take justice in your own hands?
No.
Yes.
It depends on the situation, doesn't it?
No. Gaydar works both ways, you know. You can tell when someone likes you and when someone hates you. I don't hate you. Really.
Who said we were all in the club?
You did.
Besides me.
I can't say.
Someone broke the circle.
What?
Are you arresting me?
We never asked for your help.
This isn't about help.
Just leave us alone. We can protect ourselves.
It's not murder, it's self-defense.
You're an officer of the law.
So I know the definition.
This whole city, one street belongs to us. We protect it. So you did it. Never said that. No, of course not. Do you think that any of this is right?
Sure haven't seen any fag bashers lately.
Okay, yeah. Right. So, you were at a party the night of the fire. Is that right?
That's right. My sister's husband's birthday party. I was there from 5 until 2 in the morning.
5 until 2. Well, that's better. Right. Well after the fire had destroyed the building. Right. Good.
Look, if that's it.
Did you see that movie? Debbie Holiday? Oh, it's the one that was shot at the Roxborough just before it burned down.
It wasn't my type of movie.
Did you know, Boris Delgado?
I'm not sure.
No. Okay. Do you remember him now?
Hey, I don't know what this lying little shit told you, but
Oh, I think you know exactly what this lying little shit told me, Mr. Knox, and I'm gonna put you in jail for it.
I want to see my lawyer. I'm not saying another thing until I see my lawyer.
Delgado, you lying little thief! Whatever he told you is utter bullshit! Give me a break, come on!
How's that for job satisfaction?
Pretty good, actually.
We didn't even have to step out of the office to do it. Yeah, let's not do that again.
Oh, absolutely. Next time we definitely have to go out for something to eat.
What do we do now? Hope one of them finds a conscience.